With Iran boasting of anti-ship missiles and US carriers closing in, would a direct hit leave the world's biggest warship still fighting, or burning in the water? As USS Gerald R. Ford heads toward Israel, an old shock trial blast video has gone viral again, reviving questions about just how tough this supercarrier really is. The 2021 footage shows Ford riding out a huge underwater explosion, a test meant to prove she can absorb a near-miss that would cripple almost any other ship. If Iran ever unleashes its layered missile arsenal, can Ford's escorts and their wall of SM-2 and SM-6 interceptors really hold the line against a true saturation attack? In a region full of drones, cruise missiles and proxy launch sites, whose kill chain would work faster, Iran's dispersed shooters or America's Flagship and its shield? Amid escalating US-Iran tensions, a 2021 video of USS Gerald R. Ford shock trials has suddenly gone viral again, flooding timelines as the carrier nears the hot zone. In that test, the Navy detonated a 40,000-pound underwater explosive charge close to the carrier's hull off the US East Coast. The blast was so strong it registered as a 3.9 magnitude earthquake, violently shaking the roughly 100,000-ton warship from bow to stern. Columns of water shot skyward around the ship as Ford's hull and internal systems absorbed the shockwave, a scene now looping in slow-motion clips. Navy officials said the full-ship shock trial showed Ford could withstand significant combat-level shocks without losing her ability to keep fighting. In an official statement, the Navy declared that USS Gerald R. Ford successfully completed shock trials after the sequence of massive blasts. The service added that the tests were designed to ensure the ship can withstand combat-level shocks expected in a high-end fight. Iran today fields a mix of ballistic and anti-ship cruise missiles specifically advertised as tools to threaten large naval surface targets, including carriers. Those cruise missiles and armed drones could be launched from Iran's own coast or from friendly territory and ships scattered across the wider region. Proxy factions could likewise try to strike US ships in the Red Sea or Eastern Mediterranean, adding more launch nodes beyond Iran's borders. In practice, any attempt to hit Ford would first have to punch through the layered defenses of her Aegis-equipped escorts in the carrier strike group. SM-2 and long-range SM-6 interceptors form the outer defensive ring, designed to swat down cruise missiles and certain ballistic threats well before they close in. Powerful electronic warfare suites on escorts can jam incoming seekers or feed false targets, trying to bend or blind guided weapons in flight. Closer in, rapid-fire guns and short-range defensive missiles form the last shield, trying to kill any leakers in the final seconds before impact. Above it all, the carrier's air wing, F-35s or FA-18s, would patrol forward to hunt launchers, aircraft and drones before they ever fire on the strike group. The 2021 shock trials proved that Ford's hull and key systems can ride out massive nearby explosions without catastrophic structural failure. However, experts note that concentrated, saturation barrages of precision missiles could strain even the best layered defense to its limits. In a real attack, survival would hinge on early detection, tightly coordinated intercepts and seamless sensor fusion across US and Allied ships and aircraft. Keeping the flight deck clear, aviation fuel flowing safely and shipboard power stable would be critical if the carrier had to fight on under sustained fire. Even one penetrating hit on the flight deck or island could cripple sorties and force commanders to make painful strategic choices about staying or withdrawing. All of this debate comes as reports say USS Gerald R. Ford is expected to dock in Haifa soon, placing her within easy reach of multiple flashpoints. Carrier Strike Group 12 has already entered the Mediterranean after crossing the Strait of Gibraltar, sliding into a sea now thick with military traffic. On February 23, Reuters cited updates confirmed Ford's arrival at Suda Bay, Crete, a key NATO naval hub and stepping stone toward Israel. At the same time, IRGC flagship Shahid Mahdavi has re-entered Iranian waters after a 57-day voyage that stretched into the Atlantic and southern seas. The 240-meter floating base can deploy drones, fast boats and cruise missiles far from Iran's home coast, extending Tehran's reach into distant waters. Tehran, meanwhile, continues to expand missile and coastal defenses while warning it will deliver a crushing response if US or Israeli forces strike. As USS Ford nears Haifa and Mahdavi returns to port, a tense naval standoff now hangs over the region, with both sides signaling they are ready for the worst even as talks limp on.